Kisha Krouther grew up in a small farming community in southern Colorado. As a child, she's been taught by the ancestors and was known for her ability to sense and communicate with wild animals, and furthermore, to see and work with energy. At the age of 30, she was initiated as Sioux shaman and has been recognized by the Continental Council of Indigenous Elders as wisdom keeper for North America, responsible for guiding the tribe of many colors.
Welcome here, Kisha. Welcome to our show and welcome in Slovenia.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling today?
Really good. I arrived early this morning off the train, and so that was my first overnight train experience, which was fantastic, and just arrived and it is so beautiful here. I'm really, really happy to be here.
And we are happy too. So maybe we just start with a question for you. As a young, your life was marked with a lot of unusual experiences and abilities you didn't understand at that time. But could you describe for us what sort of manifestation occurred to you during your childhood? What was so special about it?
Well, I guess it was special, but to me it was just very, very normal. It was my everyday life. But when I got a little older, I understood that other people weren't seeing what I was seeing, but I could always see energy in anything that's alive, say this tree or plant. I can see the energy that moves through it. I could also, from a very, very young age, speak to animals. I can feel what they are feeling, and then I can give them an emotion to talk with them. And right around 8 years old, 7 or 8, is when I started to first speak with a voice that always addressed me as child. And Mother Spirit would teach me very certain lessons about life and being a human being and how we should be acting on our planet.
So, how is conditioned your role like today? You know, what does it feel to be a shaman in this current world? And especially a woman shaman.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to be a shaman or a wisdom keeper at all. I had no idea I was to become a wisdom keeper or a shaman. But at the age 30, I received a phone call from the indigenous people saying, you are to be the one called Little Grandmother and take on this role. And I decided, yes, I would do this because it was the only thing that made sense to me, why I was hearing all of this and seeing these things. It is difficult because other people don't see what I see, and so I would much rather have everyone understand what I'm seeing. That would make it easier, but it is a job I take very, very seriously because you know, these things that I've been being taught since 8 years old is now being asked of me to go out and teach people. So I take it very seriously, and it is hard to be brave enough to stand up in front of hundreds or thousands of people and say, this is how we should be living. Please remember who you are. Please remember that God lives within you, not away from you. And a lot of people will disagree or agree, and I just have to be brave enough to keep going and not let other people's opinions stop me. So it is hard in that way because I am still like everyone else. I'm a mom, I do everyday normal things, but also have a very big and important role. With great blessings comes great responsibility. So there's a lot of weight on my shoulders.
Okay, and everything started with a YouTube talk.
Yes.
I heard so. And now everything started to spin very fast for you, probably.
Yes.
How do you feel now? What was your year?
This year has been incredible. I went from just doing ceremony and the things that I was asked to by my elders or by the other side, to having one little talk videoed, and the guy who taped it asked, "Can I put this on YouTube?" And I said, "Sure." And literally in 1 week's time, I was getting over 1,000 emails a day. And it's just really taken off. And people, humanity is so ready to know that they have a purpose, to know that Mother Earth is real, and we have a responsibility to take care of her, and we have a responsibility to love each other and take care of one another for a new way of being. And so, yeah, it's really taken off very quickly. But just like one of my elders, my grandfather said, it's time now to give this message to the world. And I said, okay, but I didn't really realize I would be traveling all over the world and doing this. But it's been a fabulous experience.
So you're saying you're communicating with Earth. Mm-hmm. And what does Earth say? Where are we on this line of evolution? What is this great shift that we are expected now in few years that are expected?
Well, planet Earth has experienced a pole shift where the North and South poles actually move twice before in our written history. And now it is time for another. The poles literally are shifting again. It's already begun. And due north is no longer due north. It's actually shifting. All of the airports, all of the world have had to change what due north is on their radar systems. It is really moving. And so this shift is happening. And what the indigenous people are saying, the last time it happened, the Maya people actually remember this time because they were alive at the time. But what is to happen is Mother Earth is going to be reborn into her full glory and rebirthed into her heaven. And we as human beings have the opportunity to step forward in our enlightenment and become full knowing good human beings. But the only way that's going to happen is by our own doing. We must learn to live from our hearts and not the mind and ego anymore. Ego gives us war, it gives us power and greed and all of these things. And we must stop acting like this and start living from the heart. And only then will we be able to enlighten. But this shift has begun. It will not stop until it's finished, and we have a couple of years before it is done. And so we literally have a couple of years for humanity to wake up and start living from the heart.
So are you saying that Earth is evolving into the new planet? And what that means exactly? Are we, because the gap between the worlds is now, especially energetically, it's like going wider. And the new world is emerging. We can already sense this. But how we are supposed to live all together on such different dimensions?
Well, right now we are only using less than a third of our brains. Less than a third. And as we start to use all of our brains, things will make sense, things will fit together. And like Grandfather Alejandro, the Mayan grandfather, says, there's nothing to fear. This literally is going to be a transformation on planet Earth where we use all of our mind and the heart will rule the mind. And so this is going to be a beautiful thing and there's nothing to fear. But how do we do this? How do we stop living from ego and power and start using our hearts? Well, one beautiful thing is that no matter where you go on this planet, everyone is wanting more. Everyone is saying, this is not enough. We want more. We believe we are more powerful. What is the answer? And truly the answer is be love. Be the change you want to see. Our elders are not telling us to go out and do anything. They're simply telling us to be compassionate, be love. And there's a universal truth that exists for all life. The more loving you are, the more intelligent you become. This is a universal law for all life. So the more loving we are, the more intelligent we become. Do you know right now on planet Earth, we have done damage to Mother Earth that we have no answers for, that we literally cannot fix, such as the oil spill or the ozone layer disappearing, or 90% of all large fish on our planet are gone. We have no answers of how to fix this, but we are promised the more loving you are, the more intelligent you become. When we start living in love, we start knowing more, creating more, and coming up with answers for what we've done.
How do one individual turn into this or tune into this higher frequency and start living from heart, because now it's very chaotic, especially in the cities for people.
It is a very chaotic time, and there's always a storm before the rainbow, and we're living in the storm right now, so it's very difficult. But if you remember who you are, that you are not separate from God, that you are God and Goddess, that every one of us has a soul, and that soul is made from God, then you have a higher self. Your soul is God. And if you remember that it was you that chose to come here to this planet, you chose, and that every single one of us has a great I am, our soul, and it is us, our soul, that decided to choose to come here. And earth life, we must remember this in order to move forward. Not only did we choose to come, but our soul, our high self, our great I am, is literally moving us around down here, giving us every experience, giving us every interaction. We are here to learn. That is what earth life is about. It is a learning, growing experience. And now if you know that your high self, it is you, your big great I am, that is giving you every moment of every day to learn something and to grow. And my great self, my great I am, is giving me this life and everything that I experience. Then something happens, something incredible happens. I know I have no right to judge another human being on this planet, and no one has the right to judge me. This is my journey, my path in learning how to grow and become more wise and stronger and more beautiful. Same with you. And so with this knowledge, you learn that no matter how hard it is, every moment of every day is a gift to you by your great self, and now there's something to learn. No matter if it's easy or hard, there is a learning growth experience happening. And if you know this, life becomes much easier. You see the situation, whether it's hard or easy, and you say, what can I learn from this? What is the correct decision to make? How can I be love in this moment? And it becomes much, much easier. And instead of judging others or attacking others because you disagree, you can sit back and realize this is their experience given to them by their own soul for their best learning and their best growth. And you allow them. Of course, you do not allow them to do bad things if you can interact, but then again, if you are seeing something wrong happen in front of you, that is your experience. What can I do in this moment to help the situation? So when you learn who you are, that you are God and Goddess, and you learn that you chose to come, then the whole world looks a little different. And you start living in love, and the strongest energy always wins. Love energy is much more potent than hate energy. As you start to live from love, and I start to live from love, love consciousness starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that will then rule our lives, not mind consciousness.
Okay. And you're also talking about the return of the ancestors. Mm-hmm. Who are the ancestors, and why? What can they teach us?
Our ancestors are those who came to this planet before and now have left and gone back to their great I ams. The great I am, your soul lives forever. So they might be gone from here, but they are back. Our ancestors are indigenous peoples who came and who knew truth, who knew to interact with Mother Earth, that she is alive, that she is living and real and breathing, and she's giving us our entire life. We do not take one breath of air or eat one meal that is not a gift from Mother Earth. Our ancestors, those who lived long ago, knew how to interact with Mother Earth. They knew that you are the connection to God. God is not something separate. That is man-made religion. That is religion made by man. All of these rules and regulations that tell you if you are good or bad, sinful or worthy, unworthy, that is all man-made. But our ancient elders knew the truth. They knew that Mother Earth is real. They knew that we are connected to God. They knew all of these truths. And so we are literally inviting that wisdom, their knowledge, back to planet Earth now, during the greatest time in humanity's history. Mother Earth literally is going to go through the greatest change she has ever gone through. And right now, humanity has the opportunity to become enlightened and to move forward and to progress. And so, yes, we are asking their wisdom and their knowledge to come back, to be among us, help inspire us, help us, gift us that extra energy that will help create us being better people.
And what are the prophecies for these next years, or what the elders say?
The prophecies are that, well, for hundreds of years, the indigenous people have been talking about a time on planet Earth where Mother would go through this shift, and that new energies would start to arrive on planet Earth, and that the human body would have to start digesting these new energies because it would get stronger and stronger and stronger. And now today, science can probe the Earth and get a reading. And do you know, today, in 1 year's time, the energy has tripled. It has already begun. Energies are coming to planet Earth, and it is getting bigger and bigger. Other prophecies are that the feminine would take her rightful place once again on our planet, that she would no longer be dismissed or thrown away, that the feminine would rise again with all of her compassion and love and teach how to be compassionate and loving, and it would be alive within us. That is happening. Indigenous cultures all over the world are having ceremony where the elders, the men elders are handing the power over to the female. And prophecies of the spirals happening up in the sky, where spirals would be seen and great vast amounts of energy would come to our planet. Now spirals have been seen over every single continent on our planet in just the last year. Prophecies of the ancient crystals that have been taken care of by indigenous peoples would be placed back in the earth, in the ley lines, the crisscrossing energy lines under Mother Earth's skin, to amp up the energy. These crystals, ceremonies happening everywhere. I've placed 5 myself. They are going back into Mother Earth. There are so many prophecies coming true, so many, and one that people have a hard time understanding, but is very, very real. We do have star brothers and sisters. There is life out there. And it is said that they would be coming back to our planet within the year. And several have, many, many, many have been seen. But our governments are not very willing to give us this information. Do you know that NASA has sent out messages out into the universe giving our DNA code, how our planet, what the soil is made of, all of this information, our body structure? Do you know that we got an answer? We've literally been answered with their DNA structure, with their body, with the planet they come from. These answers have literally come. And now our governments are starting to say, yes, this is happening. Government officials, ex-government officials from Canada have stood up and said, we've been interacting with extraterrestrials for several years now. We are doing this, and we are asking the United States government to please stand up and say they have been as well, because the United States government is using over $1 trillion a year to cover up this information, over $1 trillion. And now other governments and other places around the world are asking, they are coming out and saying, yes, this is happening. America, please do the same so that we can use this money to come up with a new fuel source, a new energy source. Great Britain has disclosed all of their extraterrestrial information to their people. India is preparing to do the same. Do you know that just a few weeks ago, New York's airports were completely shut down because of discs in the sky? China's airports have been shut down. Nepal's, because of huge ships in the sky. It is real. Just a couple weeks ago, Manhattan had their whole sky filled with them. Some were sitting over the Empire State Building for thousands to see. It is really happening. It's not just a story. It is really happening. And it is said in the next year, it should be disclosed to the whole planet.
But there are a lot of false information also going around, and a lot of channelings that maybe can, you know, get people into wrong kind of
a
thought.
fear state.
Yeah,
Yes.
fear state. How can people distinguish between what's truth and what resonates with the heart or what it's
Yes.
not?
I would say, for me, this is what always works, and this is what the elders have taught me to do. You go to the place where you are still and calm, and you open your heart and just be in that calm, still place, and ask your soul for the answer and feel the answer. Don't think the answer, feel it. Is there life out there? Just feel the answer for yourself. If it feels good, calm, and peaceful, it is a yes. If it feels negative and scary and confusing, that is a no. The other side only has one of two answers, always, yes or no. And you can always feel the answer. Your emotions and your feelings are the direct connect to your soul, to God. You can always ask for yourself. I would tell anyone that hears this, never just take what someone else is saying for truth. Always ask yourself, what does your heart say? Then you know truth. But we have been told so many stories about aliens and little green men and all of this weird stuff. There is life out there. There really is. It's real. They're not little green men that are going to come do weird things to us. That is fairy tale. That is stories. But there is life out there. And I'm a very normal, average person. Yes, I have certain gifts, but I'm a very normal person. I go to the grocery store like everyone else. I do dishes like everyone else. But I have seen them. I have spoken with them. My counsel has spoken with them. And I was told directly, face to face, that they love us 10,000 times, 10,000 times what a human mother could love her child. This is how much they love us. They care for us like children.
But why? Why do they so much care about us? Why is Earth so important to them?
Earth is very, very important. Mother Earth is sacred to all life that exists. Mother Earth is sacred. Why? I do not know. But I've been told, the indigenous elders have said this for thousands of years, Mother Earth is sacred to all life. They, because of the universal law, the more loving you are, the more intelligent you are. They are much more intelligent than we are. And they see us as beautiful children who have not yet learned how powerful they are, how special they are. And they want to see us grow, and they want to see us enlighten and become our full loving beings.
Okay. And okay, we are now. Anyway, we are going through tough times right now.
Yes.
And still a lot to learn for people. Mm-hmm. But what about people that don't decide to follow the enlightenment path?
Mm-hmm. I get that question a lot. What about my family that's not trying to do better? But they're not bad either. This is where universal consciousness or earth consciousness is so important. Energy is a very real thing. So is consciousness. So I'm just going to use an example of a fishing bobber that sits on the water, and if you get a fish, it bobs down. Do you know what I'm saying? They're white and red. Let's just use this for an example of world consciousness. Right now, the heaviest consciousness, or the ruling consciousness on planet Earth, is mind consciousness. Mind consciousness gives us ego, power, all of these things when we only use this. Right now, this is ruling the world. But as love consciousness grows bigger and bigger and bigger, it will overtake mind consciousness. And that bobber will flip to love consciousness instead of mind consciousness. When this happens, it happens for everyone. Not just those who are really trying hard to be better people, but it happens for everyone, the whole planet. Love consciousness is 10 times stronger than hate consciousness. And so as the planet starts getting really good people, being the change, being love, that love consciousness gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the whole world will experience love consciousness, all of us.
So in that pivotic times, also the relationship between men and women is now changing.
Yes.
And a lot is happening here. Can you maybe describe us what is going on here?
Sure. And for a very, very long time, the masculine and feminine have been completely out of balance. For so long, the feminine was completely done away with, thrown away, discarded. And now women are starting to learn, We have a place. We are important. We are lovely. And this is so important for everyone to know. Without mother, there is nothing. Without the feminine, there is nothing. And the masculine needs to come down from power and ego and live in love and take care of and be the provider and protector of women and children. Only then will he be his true God. And women need to know that they have value and they are good and beautiful, but not take over the masculine as well, but be that good, lovely, feminine being. Yes, you can have a job. Yes, you can do all of these things, but you also have a place. And love really is the answer to this. Love is the answer to knowing who you are. Love is the answer to realizing why you are here. Love is the answer to getting consciousness out of ego and back in the heart. Love is also the answer to when you be love, you know who you are, and the masculine and feminine will fall together as they should be.
Okay, people are also now getting some people visions, and they're opening to this new sphere.
Yes.
And maybe just a question, they trust these visions, but the time goes, and then maybe they, lose hope. But are they meant to happen, those visions,
Yes.
to get real?
Yes.
So do you think we can manifest them in our lifetime?
Absolutely, and we should hold strong to them. What your soul gives you is precious, and it is for your highest knowing, your being the best you can be. Really, right now, on planet Earth, the strongest of strong souls are here. The strongest of souls ever to arrive to planet Earth. And we are all here now. The change is happening now. So we are here. And the veil between heaven and earth is getting very thin. And because we are so strong, and as we start living from the heart, we will start to feel and get more information and more information. Not only that, but real energies are coming from heaven to planet Earth. And our bodies are vibrating 3 times faster and more potent than ever before. So there are real things happening. Pay attention to your soul. Pay attention to these visions and the dreams that are coming. It is your soul talking to you. Pay attention to them. They are very, very important. And yes, we should keep them in mind and help grow us stronger and more beautiful. And you can ask for them. Talk to your high self. You really do exist up there. You have a great I am. Speak to yourself. Ask for guidance. Ask for information. And then feel the emotions that come through. Pay attention to what comes through. Your high self is taking care of you.
Okay, maybe just one question about the body, because we were talking now about the evolution of the body and body vibrating higher. And that's quite a challenge for our body,
Yes.
I think. And a lot of diseases are now coming out, a lot of illnesses. Is this something in connection with the higher vibration?
It is.
Could we heal this?
Yes, as more and more energies come to our planet, our bodies have to get rid of the toxins and things that we've fed ourselves. Not only literally fed ourselves, but the toxins from what we've believed in ourselves, all these things that we keep ourselves, we are so hard on ourselves, always. We have to get rid of all of this toxic things to then take in more good, love, light energy. So there's a lot of stuff happening, but let them rise to the surface and let them go. Now that we are trying to take in and digest more and more energies, a lot of us, I ask this wherever I go, and it is so true. In the last year, just in the last couple of months, it's getting stronger and stronger. As more energy comes into the body, we are experiencing headaches where we've never had them before, or getting nauseated out of nowhere, or feeling dizzy throughout the day, not knowing why. But it is because the energy are tripling, and we are trying to get used to this. And yes, a lot of us are having symptoms of things coming up, but don't be afraid. We're not supposed to be afraid of this. Our bodies are shifting, and they are getting rid of old energies, old patterns, old belief systems that no longer have a place here, so that we can take in new, good, powerful energies.
Okay, maybe just one last question.
Yes.
And that would be with our country, because now you had one quite one day here.
Yes.
And maybe your feelings. Do you feel you received any messages for Slovenia or I don't know?
Well, something fantastic is that. Well, when I first got off the train, I always, as soon as I arrive to a new country, I say a prayer and invite the elders of this area to be with me and give me any guidance. And I felt, the first thing I felt was a very old sadness from wartime here. And I was asking, what would that, because I don't know your history, but there is still a deep sorrow in the land from war, and I believe it was a world war that is still here, and I can still feel it. But also, on top of that, that is still very deep in the soil here, but on top of that, the energy here vibrates so clean, and it's so crisp, and it vibrates very high. There is so much energy in the air here, it's amazing. But what's really, really exciting is I got the information just a day ago that on the 6th, there is supposed to be a very, very sacred ceremony, a prophecy coming true, in which a very sacred crystal will go into the ground to awaken the feminine and bless Mother Earth here. And all over the world, the Continental Council of Indigenous Elders, with Don Alejandro, the Mayan grandfather, and the grandfathers, the most beautiful grandfathers living on the planet today. On the 6th, they will all do this special ceremony, and I will be in charge of doing it right here in Slovenia.
That's great.
So it's fantastic. It's such a blessing. This ceremony has been prophesied to come for generation after generation, and on the 6th, it will happen, and it will happen right here. I have the crystal with me.
Kisha, thank you very much.
Yes.
I wish you a very nice and fulfilling stay here.
Thank you.
And also your path, let it walk you through.
Oh, thank you so much. I have to say, I have been to so many countries now, going so hard and teaching and going and going. I think Slovenia is my favorite. It really is. The energy here, the mountains, the grass, the soil here, the ancestors here, it's my favorite one. I love it here. I really do. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.